Welcome to the TruGolf Academy. You've joined me, Jon Watts, today in my swing studio, and today's video is all going to be about how to shift your pressure correctly in your downswing, so focusing on the lower body movement. Stay tuned to find out more. As mentioned, today's video is all going to be about shifting pressure correctly on your downswing. So moving our pressure from our trail foot towards our lead leg on the downswing correctly. And I've got a really simple drill using a range bucket that you can do anywhere, anytime to really improve your lower body movement. So let's get into it. What I see as a fault, if I bring this range bucket into place, imagining I'm hitting it this way for just a second, if I place that bucket, which is what we're going to do in the exercise, very close to the outside edge of my trail foot, what I see as a fault all too often, mainly with mid to high handicappers. I wouldn't say we'd see this all too often with our lower handicappers, with our better players, but as they're trying to move, to the follow through, to complete their golf swing, we often see the trail foot actually moving backwards, and you can see as that moves backwards, I'm going to be hitting the bucket. So they're aware that they're sort of meant to finish with their body turned at the target, slightly parallel left of the target for a right-handed player. They're aware they're meant to be rotating their body. They're aware that they're meant to finish a little bit more up onto perhaps their trail foot. But we often see this sort of movement where my body is turned, yes, but I never really have shifted enough pressure into my lead leg, so I'm definitely leaking or losing power. I never quite close the gap between my knees. So we see this sort of movement with the lower body, and it always looks like you're leaning back with your upper body rather than really here firmly onto that lead side as one straight long line up onto your trail toe. So what we want to try and get with the trail foot movement is on the downswing, ideally we want the trail foot rolling inwards, so almost trapping the football, moving inwards this way and then pivoting up onto the toe. We never want to see the heel going backwards. So it's this movement that we're really looking for into impact. Now we could almost overdo this and actually slide too much that way. But when I slide, I'll still have a lot of flex in my lead leg. So when we're doing this exercise, we're going to break it down into a couple of parts. So we're going to try and roll that trail foot away from the bucket. That means I can really feel that pressure onto my lead side, but I'm just going to try and extend my lead leg. Now, if that left leg is straight, or pretty close to straight, by the time we hit the golf ball extended, I know I haven't slid too far ahead of the golf ball here. I'm also going to be very aware of my head position. So if I slide with everything, I'd get my head way ahead of the golf ball, or the compensation often if we slide too much laterally this way, and again I've still got that knee bent, is a compensation of the head leaning backwards, and now my head is behind the golf ball. So I can be quite aware of my head position. So you can see that trail sides roll towards the lead side, my head has stayed over the ball, and I can extend my lead leg. By extending that lead leg, it really allows me to open up my hips and open up my chest as well. So I can firmly feel the pressure onto my lead side, and my body is very open. I'm going to go ahead and just do a few of these swings. We're going to break it into a smaller motion to start with. Click on the keyboard so you guys can see it. So go ahead and get set up, normal position. I'm using a 7-iron here. Now this drill is relevant for any club. So I often get, that was great. Can I do it with a driver as well? Absolutely. You can do this with any club. So get it right up close to your trail foot. And what we're going to be doing is just starting with a little movement. So I'm going to be aware of where my head is. I'm going to be trying to roll my right foot, my right knee, my trail side towards my lead side, but keeping quite centered there. And I'm going to be extending my lead leg into impact. So I'm just going to put this into a small motion to start with, break the swing down. If you catch it a little heavy, you haven't extended that lead side enough, so we just feel like we push off a little bit more. So let me do one more like that, then see if I can do it without stopping, but at slow motion, then at full speed. So how I'd like you to ingrain most exercises. That's the movement we're really looking for, a little pump movement. And just extend that lead side. It's great. Right. Let me see if I can do this without stopping and get that right foot moving towards the target, towards my lead side, and my lead side then extending, straightening into impact. So we're not going to stop on this one, but just going to do it at a nice slow pace. There we go. It's a bit on the heavy side. Again, as I said, if it is a little on the heavy side, just try and make sure that lead leg is straightening, extending a little bit more into impact. And let me go ahead and now do more of a fuller pace one. And you'll see a slow-mo also of this right foot movement up on the screen. Let's give it a go at full pace. There we go. So my right foot moved this way. My body was straightening, extending into impact. So it felt really solid. I'm not too focused on the direction, on the shot shape. I just hit a bit of a cut out to the right, but I really got that movement, that feeling on the downswing of my trail side moving towards my lead side. So I firmly felt the pressure onto my lead leg, and I was extending into impact, which is really going to help me open up my lower body as well. Great exercise, just using a range bucket to make sure you're nailing your downswing. It's going to help quality of strike, it's going to help distance, it's going to really lower your scores, give you more control over the ball flight. I know if you can give that a go, it is going to improve your movement pattern with your lower body especially. If you did enjoy the content in the video, give us a thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel as well. It is for free. It's the best way of staying in touch with all the new content every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 5:30. Thanks guys, we'll see you soon.